Culbrenner is one of those guys that I remember playing against that would be, they're kind of lanky but the way that they move and the way that they hit you a lot harder than you feel like they're going to hit you. And when I watched Hunter Dickinson earlier in the year, it seems like he was like an enforcer. Every game he played in, he was the one bringing the contact. He was the one hitting threes and, talking after running down the court. And then obviously in the post catching lobs and doing all that stuff. But you just didn't see that. You didn't see that swagger coming from him because Culbrenner, man, I've had to watch him a lot over the past couple of years covering, Xavier basketball in the Big East, and the dude can just play, man. It's something about him. He gets into the feel of a game, and it doesn't seem like any moment's too big for him. Obviously, he had 49 points earlier in the season, which is, I don't really care who you're playing against. You're going to get doubled. You're going to get tripled. It's like if you're really going off like that, to be able to do that. He's just a really talented guy. But yeah, this game, we didn't get to see the big time matchup, and it's kind of disappointing. But Creighton has that one thing that's the great equalizer. They can shoot threes, man. They can really shoot threes. They ended up making 10 threes or 12 threes in the game. Like, that's a lot of threes to make. It's nothing crazy, but still, like, that's the difference in the game. You're making 12, they're making 8. So you talk about the big men and all that, but at the end of the day, the guards were able to come out too for Creighton. Hunter Dickinson only shot the ball 4 times. So it's like, I don't know. It was tough. Everybody was excited for that matchup, though. I know I was.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm still waiting on news to come out that he got the flu or something.
Right.
No, I'm serious. Because knowing him, he is a competitive ass dude. Like, he's a competitive ass kid. Knowing Hunter Dickinson, I know he wanted to take this matchup personal, right? Like, there's not many times player of the year caliber bigs you get this type of matchup. And right. it was, 4 shots. He just didn't seem like it. Like, I'm seriously, I'm not trying to be funny. It wouldn't shock me if they told me he had a fever or he's sick or something. Like, that's the only thing I can think of. I just don't. I don't see. I can't get out of my mind any other way to see how that game turned out. And it's not that I'm surprised that Creighton won. Creighton's a good team. Getting, right. Culbrenner being healthy, being back. Pop Isaac was he was great. But that matchup, I thought, normally Hunter Dickinson takes those things. He's talking trash. He takes those competitive, and that just wasn't the case. So, like I said, it wouldn't shock me if they told me he had a fever, didn't practice all week or something like that. That's all I can think of.
Look, if that comes out about Dickinson, then I hope the same comes out about KJ Adams Jr. as well, because it's like, all right, man, there's a bug sweeping through their front court because he was non-existent as well, man. We got to say what it is.
Like, whatever it was, the whole front line got it. They might have got Culbrenner disease. They got Culbrenner. They got something. They got the flu. I know in the NBA. Man. Sometimes you come across dudes, you be like, hey, man, I'm sick, coach. I don't want to play that. Yeah. That stuff happens at the NBA level all the time. So
I was gonna say we've heard the Derrick Rose flu come out with certain guys when D Rose is in his prime with the Bulls and doing his thing. Yeah, they wasn't trying to see that at all. But Kenny, you talked about Creighton shooting threes. That's funny as hell, RC. Like, I'm gonna be laughing about that, waking up out of my sleep thinking about that, the Culbrenner flu. But Kenny, you talked about the threes that Creighton knocked down. I'm just thinking about my time at Southern Illinois at the time when Creighton was in the Missouri Valley and playing in that arena. That arena is different, man. When that crowd gets involved and that team is knocking down threes and they're just really feeling invincible, it's a tough challenge to overcome or obstacle to overcome. And we saw that last night with Kansas and Creighton. Like, Pop Isaacs was special in knocking down shots. Not even just knocking them down, but knocking them down in a timely fashion for Creighton. But once that crowd gets into it and this team is really feeling themselves, you just feel like you can't do anything against them defensively to slow them down. But again, if you don't have anything in terms of your stars stepping up and doing something like Hunter Dickinson, then you might as well pack it up. But 63 points for Kansas, that's damn near unheard of, Kenny. Come on.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know what to say about it, because I think you might be onto something, RC, because I can't say that personally I ever felt that way against anybody I ever played against, but to score 63 points, I think, honestly, in college basketball, you cannot discount what you said about the arena. I mean, you have guys coming in there, and it's a tough place to play. Now, having said that, you know, they also already played against Duke. They played in that big game. They played against North Carolina. Like, you would think that they're going to come out and be ready for that type of situation. But, you know, we've been seeing it all year. Team comes out, gets punched in the mouth, and, you know, you got a guy like Culbrenner, you got Pop Isaac going 6 for 9 from 3. It's going to be tough to beat him, especially if your, you know, star big guy doesn't really show up. It's going to be a really hard night for you.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. Let's